Alright, folks, imagine this. You're digging through your spare change, the ones you've been hoarding in a coffee can since who knows when, and boom, you stumble upon a 1984 D. Lincoln penny that's worth a staggering $1 million. That's right, a single penny could be your golden ticket to early retirement, or at least a really nice vacation. Sound too good to be true? Well, stick around because we're diving deep into why this coin is so valuable, how to spot it, and what makes it worth its weight in gold. Or, you know, way more than one sent me share something relatable. One time, I spent 20 minutes digging through my car for loose change, hoping to scrounge up enough for a gas station snack. Turns out, none of it was rare, and I ended up with a half-eaten granola bar. But hey, the dream is alive. That's why today's topic is so exciting. You never know when you might hit the jackpot in your own coin jar. Let's start with the basics. The 1984 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. Over 5 billion pennies were minted that year. So why the buzz about this specific one? It's all about the double die error. Coins with this error are accidentally struck twice during the minting process, creating a noticeable doubling effect, especially on letters and numbers. For the 1984 D penny, the doubling is most apparent on Lincoln's ear. That's right, Honest Abe's ear is the MVP here. If his ear looks like it's having an identity crisis, you might just be holding on to something extraordinary. So, what makes this penny worth more than a beach house? Rarity. While billions of 1984 pennies were made, very few of them have the double die error. It's like finding a typo in a best-selling book. Only this typo could make you a millionaire. Also, coin collectors are a passionate bunch. When demand meets rarity, the price skyrockets. The record sale for a pristine 1984 D double die penny hit $1 million at auction. But here's the catch. It has to be in mint condition. No scratches. No weird discoloration from sitting in your pocket for 30 years. Basically, it should look like it just left the mint yesterday. Now, let's get practical. Grab a magnifying glass, maybe a flashlight, and start inspecting your 1984 pennies. Check for the D mint mark below the date. If there's no D, it's not from Denver, and you can move on. Look closely at Lincoln's ear. If it looks doubled, as if Abe's ear had too much caffeine, you might have a winner. Examine the rest of the coin for doubling on letters like Liberty and In God We Trust. Pro tip, don't go cleaning your coins with soap or polish to make them look better. That's a rookie mistake and could lower the value faster than you can say, oops. Take it to a professional coin dealer or a numismatist. These folks live and breathe coins and can authenticate your find. Consider sending it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give it a grade, which can significantly affect its value. If your coin is legit and in top-notch condition, start contacting auction houses. The right buyer could turn your penny into life-changing money. I remember the first time I thought I'd hit the jackpot. I found a penny with a weird smudge on it and was convinced it was a rare error. I took it to a dealer, only to find out it was just dirt. But hey, every coin has a story, right? Even if you don't find a $1 million penny, there's something exciting about learning the stories behind our everyday change. Each coin has history, and who knows, maybe the next one you inspect will be a hidden gem. Alright, my friends, that's the lowdown on the 1984 D. Lincoln penny worth $1 million. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves a good treasure hunt, it's always worth keeping an eye on your pocket change. Remember, one lucky penny could change your life. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more coin tips, hidden treasures, and strategies to make your hobby profitable. Hit that like button, share this video with your fellow treasure hunters, and drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin in your change. Who knows? Your story could inspire our next video. Imagine this. You're cleaning out your junk drawer or digging through the change in your couch cushions, and bam, you come across a 1988 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark. You think, just another penny. But what if I told you that single penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million? That's right, one little copper coin could change your life. Stick around because today, I'm breaking down why this penny is so valuable, how you can spot one, and the current market hype that's making collectors shell out a small fortune. And hey, if you're like me and love a good treasure hunt, you'll want to hear my hilarious story about a penny hunt that almost paid off. Alright, let's dive in. First off, what's the deal with this 1988 Lincoln penny with no mint mark? Let me give you the scoop. Coins minted without a mint mark usually come from the Philadelphia Mint. But in 1988, something went wrong, or maybe went very right, depending on how you look at it. A small batch of pennies ended up being misprinted and boom, they became the unicorns of the coin world. Now, here's the kicker. The real reason this penny is worth so much isn't just the missing mint mark. It's because of a subtle design error. The lettering on the coin is slightly misaligned, making it a true rarity. This little detail is what separates your average 1988 penny from the million-dollar masterpiece collectors are chasing. Examine every single 1988 penny like a detective on a mission. If you find one without the D or S mint mark, don't get too excited just yet. You'll want to check the design details, particularly on the reverse side, where the error is most noticeable. And if you're unsure, send it to a professional coin grader. They'll give you the official verdict. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was at a flea market. You know, one of those places where you go looking for vintage treasures, but end up leaving with a weird lamp you'll never use. Anyway, I spotted a box of old coins. The seller said, "Take the whole box for $20. I thought, this is it. My million-dollar penny isn't here. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But hey, I found a 1943 steel penny, which is pretty cool. And the thrill of the hunt? Totally worth it.so. Why is the 1988 no mint mark penny valued at $1.1 million? It all comes down to rarity and demand. Coin collectors are a passionate bunch, and when something this rare comes on the market, the bidding wars get intense. The most recent sale was at an auction where someone shelled out over $1 million for one of these beauties. It's like the Super Bowl for coin collectors. Alright, so let's recap. If you have a 1988 penny with no mint mark, you might be sitting on a fortune. Check your coins carefully, look for the telltale design error, and consider getting it graded if you think you've hit the jackpot. And here's my challenge for you. Start your own coin hunt today. You never know what treasures might be hiding in plain sight. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money or just love learning about hidden treasures, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Join our community of coin enthusiasts and let's uncover more stories like this together. You ever hear about a penny that's worth more than $1 million? No, I'm not kidding. Imagine flipping through your pocket change and stumbling upon a coin that could change your life. Well, that's the story behind the 1987 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A tiny piece of copper that's now making waves in the collector's world. Yep, this little guy could fetch you a jaw-dropping $1.2 million if it's the right one. Crazy, right? We're diving into the story of this elusive penny, why it's so valuable, and how you can spot one. Plus, I'll share a personal story about a time I thought I'd struck gold, or copper in this case. Spoiler alert, it didn't end with $1 million, but it's a good laugh. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you might be running to check your coin jar. Alright, let's break this down. First, what's the deal with the 1987 Lincoln penny? This coin was minted during a time when billions of pennies were being cranked out annually. Most of them were stamped with a mint mark, a little letter that tells you where the coin was made. But every once in a while, a coin slips through the cracks without that mark, making it rare and valuable to collectors. Now, why is this no mint mark penny worth a whopping $1.2 million today? Here's the scoop. Coins without mint marks were usually minted in Philadelphia, but the 1987 no mint mark penny is considered a super rare anomaly. Experts believe it's a result of a die error, meaning the stamp used to make the coin didn't have the mint mark engraved. It's like finding a four-leaf clover, except this clover is worth more than most people's houses. What makes it even more valuable is its condition. Coin collectors use something called the Sheldon scale to grade coins, with MS 70 being the holy grail of mint state perfection. If your 1987 no mint mark penny is in near-perfect condition, shiny, no scratches, and sharp details, you could be looking at a life-changing payday. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I went through a phase where I was obsessed with coin collecting. I'd watch videos like this one, grab my magnifying glass, and comb through every coin I could find. One day, I spotted a 1987 penny without a mint mark. My heart nearly stopped. I was already planning what I'd do with my $1,000,000, pay off my mortgage, buy a boat, maybe even take a trip to the Bahamas. But before I popped the champagne, I decided to double-check with a local coin expert. Turns out, it wasn't the one. Apparently, some 1987 pennies don't have mint marks, but aren't the rare kind we're talking about today. Talk about a buzzkill. But hey, I learned a lot about coin grading that day, and it made me even more fascinated by the world of rare coins. So, how do you know if your 1987 penny is the golden ticket? First, grab a magnifying glass or a smartphone with a good camera. Look closely at the area below the date. No D or S? Good start. Next, check the overall condition. If it looks like it's been through a war, it's probably not worth much. But if it's in pristine shape, you might just have a $1,000,000 coin on your hands. Don't try to clean the coin. Seriously, collectors want coins in their natural state, dirt and all. Cleaning it could actually decrease its value. So resist the urge to make it shiny. Oh, there you have it. The fascinating story of the 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Who knew something so small could pack such a big punch? Rare coins like this don't come along every day, but that's what makes the hunt so exciting. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone looking for a little treasure in your pocket change, keep your eyes peeled. You never know what you might find. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more tips, tricks, and strategies to uncover coins worth big money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We've got plenty more stories and advice to help you on your journey to becoming a coin collecting pro. You're digging through your couch cushions, looking for enough change to grab a coffee, when bam, you stumble upon a penny. But not just any penny, my friend. Yes, you heard that right, a penny, no mint mark, 1986. You're sitting on what could be your retirement fund, and you didn't even know it. So, grab your change jar, and let's dive into what makes this Lincoln penny so insanely valuable. You're about to fall in love with pocket change. First things first, what's the deal with this 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Let's break it down. Normally, U.S. pennies have a little letter below the date that tells you where they were minted, D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mark at all, which usually means Philadelphia. But here's the kicker. A 1986 penny with no mint mark shouldn't exist. It's a minting error, and collectors absolutely lose their minds over errors like this. Now, what makes this specific penny worth $1.3 million? Well, let me tell you, it's not because it can recite the Gettysburg Address. It's all about rarity. The mint accidentally left off the mark on a few coins, and finding one in pristine condition is like finding Bigfoot, but with better resale value. Let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was at a garage sale, just killing time. I spotted a jar of pennies, $2 for the whole thing. I thought, why not? Turns out, there was no $1,000,000 penny in there, but it did have a wheat penny from 1943 worth about $20. Moral of the story? Never underestimate a dusty jar of coins. Who knows? Your next find could be a 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny. But back to our star coin. To cash in, the condition is key. If your penny looks like it's been run over by a lawnmower, you're probably out of luck. But if it's in mint state, jackpot. Experts recommend getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify its authenticity and give it a grade, which can significantly impact its value. Let's talk market value. In 2024, a collector shelled out $1.3 million for one of these bad boys at an auction. Why? Because serious collectors will do just about anything to complete their collection. It's like Pokemon cards for adults, but way more lucrative. Even if your coin doesn't fetch 7 figures, it could still be worth tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not bad for a penny, right? Most people don't even know this coin exists. So, if you're the kind of person who gets weird looks for saying, "Let's check our pocket change," joke's on them. You're the one with the potential fortune hiding in plain sight. So, what have we learned today? Check your coins, people. That 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny could turn a boring Tuesday into the best day of your life. Go dig through your couch, raid your change jar, or sweet talk your grandma into letting you look at her old coin collection. You never know. Your financial miracle might just be waiting for you. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting coins worth serious money, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. We're here to turn your spare change into big bucks, one penny at a time. And hey, if you find that $1 million penny, don't forget to send me a postcard from your new yacht. Have you ever looked at a regular penny and thought, this thing is barely worth picking up, let alone saving? Well, today's penny story might change your mind. What if I told you there's a 2018 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny out there that's worth $1.40 million? Yeah, you heard me right. That's more than a brand new Lamborghini, a dream house, or a lifetime supply of tacos. So, grab your change jar, settle in, and let's dive into why this tiny copper coin is making such a huge splash in the coin collecting world. Let's start with the basics. The 2018 D penny, minted in Denver, hence the D mark, isn't rare in and of itself. Billions were made, and most are just like the ones jingling around in your car's cup holder. But this isn't a story about most. It's a story about one. This particular penny is special because of its error. Coin errors are like typos in money making, and collectors go wild for them. In the case of the $1.4 million penny, we're talking about a striking error, literally. The design was struck twice, creating a doubled image of Lincoln and the text on the coin. It's like Lincoln's doing a 3D photo shoot right on the penny. These errors are called double dies, and they're like the unicorns of the coin world. Incredibly rare and insanely valuable. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Not every double die is worth millions. It depends on the severity of the doubling, the coin's condition, and how many people are willing to fight over it at auction. This 2018 D penny? It checks all the boxes. The doubling is so clear, even a casual collector would notice. It's in near-perfect condition, probably never saw the inside of a vending machine, and it hit the market at just the right time, when collectors were hungry for something new and exciting. Let me share a quick story to make this hit home. A few years ago, I was at a garage sale. Not because I needed anything, but because who doesn't love digging through other people's stuff? Anyway, I spotted this dusty jar of coins. The lady running the sale says, "Oh, that's just junk change. You can have the whole jar for $5. $5? Sold." Later, while sorting through it, I found a 1995 double die penny worth $50. Not quite $1.4 million, but hey, still a win, right? My point is, these hidden treasures can pop up anywhere. Okay, back to the 2018 D penny. What's driving its insane value right now is the demand. Collectors are obsessed with modern coins that have unusual features because they're so rare. Most people think valuable coins are all old, but this proves otherwise. And here's a fun fact. The penny was sold at auction for that jaw-dropping $1.4 million price tag. Imagine finding that in your pocket. I'd probably faint, then frame it. No vending machine or wishing fountain for that baby. So, what's the takeaway here? Always, always check your change. You never know when a little copper coin could turn into a golden opportunity. And hey, even if you don't find a $1.4 million penny, coin collecting is a fun way to learn some history, make a little extra cash, and maybe even discover a hidden hobby. Now, before you go rummaging through your couch cushions or storming a garage sale, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth money, strategies to grow your collection, and maybe even a few tales of my own collecting adventures. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes, even the smallest change can make the biggest difference. Did you know that you could be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it? I'm talking about the 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Yep, that little copper coin you've probably tossed into a jar or under the couch cushions might just be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Stick around because I'll be sharing why this penny is so valuable, what to look for, and, get this, how one tiny mistake turned into a massive payday for some lucky folks. Before we dive in, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car. You know how it is, crumbs, old receipts, and a random collection of coins that somehow escape every cup holder. As I was tossing pennies into a jar, I spotted one that looked weird. I didn't think much of it at the time, but later, I found out it was a rare coin worth $50. Let me tell you, that was the best $50 I ever made off a dirty car floor. Imagine finding one worth $1.5 million instead. Now that's a story you'd never stop telling at parties. All right, Let's get into the details of this incredible penny. First off, the 1967 penny isn't rare because of a mint mark or lack thereof. In fact, no pennies from that year have a mint mark. Why? Because the US Mint decided to skip mint marks entirely in 1965, 1966, and 1967. They wanted to discourage coin hoarding during a coin shortage. So, if your 1967 penny doesn't have a mint mark, don't get too excited just yet. That's completely normal. There's something unique about a few 1967 pennies that sets them apart and skyrockets their value. Some were accidentally struck using experimental materials or by mistake. These error coins are like golden tickets in the world of coin collecting. The value comes down to rarity, condition, and a little thing called collector demand. There's one particular 1967 penny that has become the holy grail for collectors. It's made of bronze, but has unusual characteristics due to an experimental minting process. Coins like this are so rare that they're basically unicorns of the coin world. And when wealthy collectors get involved, bidding wars drive the price sky-high. One verified 1967 penny with these special traits recently sold for $1.5 million at auction. Imagine holding $1 million piece of history in your hand. Crazy, right? How do you know if your 1967 penny is the one? Check for any unusual markings, double strikes, or misalignments. Error coins are like typos in the coin world. They weren't supposed to happen, but they did. If your penny feels a little heavier, lighter, or just off, it might be made from an experimental alloy. If you think you've hit the jackpot, take your penny to a reputable coin dealer or grading service. They'll confirm if it's the real deal. Here's another little story for you. My friend found a penny from the 1960s in their backyard while gardening. It looked shiny and strange, so they brought it to me, the coin expert, their words, not mine. Turns out, it wasn't anything rare, but they were still thrilled to learn it was worth a few bucks. They bought coffee with it. Missed opportunity, I know. Moral of the story? Always check your pennies before spending them on caffeine. Now you know why the 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth a fortune. But remember, not every old coin is valuable, unless you're talking sentimental value, like that penny from your first piggy bank. Before you go digging through your couch cushions or raiding your grandparents' coin jar, here's a little advice. Patience is key. Coin hunting is like fishing. Sometimes you get a big catch, and sometimes you just end up with a story. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post tips on coins worth money, collecting strategies, and fun facts about currency every week. Who knows? The next video could help you discover another hidden treasure. Imagine this. You're rummaging through an old jar of pennies, probably looking for enough spare change for a coffee, and boom, you find a penny worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. That's right, folks. We're talking about the legendary 1969 Lincoln penny, a little coin with a big price tag. But what makes it so special? Why would anyone fork over that kind of cash for 1 cent? Stick around, because today, I'll walk you through the fascinating story of this penny, how to spot one, and how my own near miss with a valuable coin still haunts me to this day. Let's dive in. What's the deal with the 1969 Lincoln penny? First off, let's set the stage. The D stands for Denver, where this penny was minted in 1969. On the surface, it looks like any old Lincoln penny. Good ol', honest Abe staring thoughtfully to the right, and the Lincoln Memorial chilling on the back. But here's the kicker. A specific error on some 1969 pennies has turned them into literal treasure. We're talking about a double die obverse. Fancy term, right? Basically, it means the front of the coin, Abe's face, the "In God We Trust" motto, the Liberty inscription, and the year. Looks like it was stamped twice. If you've ever tried to write a straight line after 3 cups of coffee, you know what I mean. It's like the coin had a momentary hiccup during production. This error is super rare, and rarity equals money in the coin world. Okay, so why the big bucks? It all comes down to supply and demand. Only a handful of these double die errors have been discovered. When collectors catch wind of something this scarce, they lose their minds and open their wallets. One of these bad boys sold for a whopping $1.6 million at auction recently, making it one of the most valuable pennies ever. But hold up, before you start tearing apart your not every 1969 penny is a jackpot. Most are worth, well, 1 cent. You've got to know what to look for, which leads me to the D mint mark. Make sure it's a Denver Mint coin. Look for that little D under the year 1969. Doubling on the obverse. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling on Lincoln's face, Liberty, and In God We Trust. The doubling is bold, not subtle. Think obvious, like trying to wear two pairs of sunglasses at once. Condition matters. Coins in mint condition fetch the highest prices. If your penny looks like it's been run over by a lawnmower, it's probably not the $1 million variety. I once found a 1969 penny when I was a teenager. I thought I'd struck gold, or copper in this case. I ran to my dad like Charlie from Willy Wonka, only for him to burst my bubble. No mint mark, no doubling, just a plain OL penny. I've been obsessively checking coins ever since. Learn from my heartbreak, people. The coin market can be like the stock market. Values fluctuate based on interest, scarcity, and trends. As of now, the most pristine 1969 D double die pennies are fetching prices close to the $1 million mark. Even lower-grade versions can still sell for tens of thousands. Imagine turning pocket change into a new car, or even a house. Wild, right? Proof that even the smallest things can pack a serious punch. Who knew a humble 1-cent coin could be worth enough to change your life? Now it's your turn. Go raid your piggy banks, check that change jar, and maybe even ask Grandma to let you peek at her old coin stash. And hey, if you love learning about coins worth big bucks or just want to hear more crazy stories about pocket change that can make you rich, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and coin collecting strategies to share. Let's make some sense, literally. Ever wondered if that humble penny sitting in your pocket could secretly make you a millionaire? Well, buckle up because today, we're talking about one of the most intriguing coins out there, the 1978 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yep, a simple penny that's currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Let's dive in and find out what makes this little copper wonder so special. Spoiler alert, you might want to grab your change jar after this video. Alright, so first, let's talk about why this penny is such a big deal. The 1978 Abraham Lincoln penny typically features a mint mark. For those new to the coin world, a mint mark is that tiny letter, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco, that tells you where the coin was made. But in some very rare cases, a penny from 1978 popped out of the Philadelphia Mint without any mint mark at all. It's like the coin decided, nah, I'm going incognito. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, but how does that turn a penny into $1.7 million? Great question. The no mint mark pennies are considered errors, and in the coin collecting world, errors are like treasure. Think of it this way. It's the same as a rare Pokemon card or a misprinted baseball card. It's the rarity that drives collectors wild. And when a collector wants something bad enough, they're willing to pay a fortune. Here's where it gets interesting. Not all no mint mark pennies are created equal. Condition is everything. If you've got one that's been through the washer and dryer 17 times, sorry to say, it's probably not worth much. But if you find one in pristine condition, shiny, crisp, and looking like it just rolled out of the mint yesterday, then we're talking serious cash. I remember the first time I heard about these rare pennies. I was digging through my old coin jar, hoping for a miracle. Did I find one? Nope. But I did find a Canadian penny, which I guess is cool if you're in Canada. The point is, you never know what you'll find, and that's half the fun. So, how do you know if you've got a 1978 no mint mark penny worth millions? First, grab a magnifying glass. You're looking for a penny with no little letter under the date. Next, check the condition. If it looks good, consider getting it professionally graded. Companies like PCGS or NGC will evaluate your coin and give it a grade that determines its value. Trust me, it's worth it. Let's talk numbers. The $1.7 million price tag isn't a random guess. That's what one of these pennies sold for at auction not too long ago. Imagine that. A single penny paying off your mortgage, student loans, and probably funding a vacation or two. Don't underestimate the coins in your pocket. That spare change could be a hidden fortune. The next time you're bored, instead of scrolling social media, grab your piggy bank and start hunting. Who knows, you might stumble upon the 1978 no mint mark penny and change your life forever. And hey, if you found this video helpful, or at least a little entertaining, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll be sharing more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could make you rich. So stick around, because your treasure hunt is just getting started.